AD is After Death, Book 1. This book is written by Scott Snyder, who did the Batman comic for the New 52 and New 52. He did the series called Batman, all the way up to the end. He's a freaking amazing writer. He did that with Greg Capullo. He was amazing. Like, he's just a really good writer, so that's one of the things I'm like, oh, Scott Snyder, really good writer. But then we have probably my favorite writer, / one of my favorite artists, Jeff Lemire. It definitely made my favorite artist, favorite writer, and up there when it comes to art, his art. This book definitely shows his art capabilities. I'm going to show some things of his art right here to tell you what I'm talking about. It's just so, like, this book blew me away with the art. I was like, damn. Like, this book has a unique art style, and whichever Lemire style works with the story or this book, it's pretty awesome. Now we're going to jump into the actual media story. Now, what I liked about this comic, also it was different than most other comics. It was half comic, half almost like a storybook. Where the page, and then I'll post out a picture for this too, just so you get an idea. It is a page, and then I'll have a bunch of text on the page. Kind of like almost a storybook, like it's basically almost all the page, there's a lot of text, and then we have a picture, one picture, with all the text explaining it. And so you get a summary of how the story starts off with. It's also from January 1982. It's a date that's showing the main character in the past when he was a kid, and his family goes on a trip, and his father and they say, hey, we need to go to Florida. So they go to Florida on this trip. It's not as fun as something. It wasn't as fun, or it wasn't what they thought it was. It wasn't as good as the time they had. Didn't have a good time, so they left. Then we see this balloon. They find this like balloon or something that's flying around, and they fall in the car till they stop to this drive to this like alleyway fence parking lot that's stuck on a fence, and all this stuff. And it's pretty because they want to go on an adventure, do something more wild, fun. So they do it, and they find the balloon. You get it. He called up the people who with the balloon, because that thing that says call this number you want to prize, and finding out that this contest was already over. It was a coordinator, what was kind of cool, and then they made it this fall, but the contest was already over, so it doesn't really matter. They don't get the prize. It was a game system, something actually, an actual cool prize. A school doing a contest where they're giving out a game system. No matter what the game system is, it's pretty cool. And then while he's arguing on the phone with them, her mother starts to get, I guess, I'm trying to look if it says, I can't see, it's just like the shake and stuff, and she falls to the ground, and that's where the beginning of this book ends. There's a couple pages, and it's just so much text. It's like, I'll show you, it's just so much. I already showed you, but it was like, so much text. It's like I'm reading a storybook, but it's in a cool story. I kept the art, it's amazing, the book's good. But now we jump into the now. And that's what the book says. We see our main character, again, the same kid, but now he's in some type of, I guess, force of planet, whatever, alien planet, whatever. I think it might be Earth, because something happened to Earth, and now it's like this thing what I can gather from this first issue, and he's like, has a gas mask and all this supplies, and he's either somebody going on, and these aliens pop up, and they like take him, and they wrap him up, and take him, like wrap around his face, start wrapping around him, and then it cuts to the title, what has its own page with this tree, and it's part 1, The Land of Milk and Honey, what's funny. Then we go back to 825 AD, or After Death. It's kind of After Death is kind of what this book is called, AD After Death. So okay, and so it's the farm, or like the thing where cows are out. I see the main character again. Now this is in a different time. I think this is before where he's like fighting all those things in the forest or whatever that I just saw, monsters on the planet. And now he sees this cow, goes up to the fence or whatever, where it's like a thing, or a shield or something. It's going up to it, and it's like his face is burning. The cow's face burning, and he stops it, takes care of it, and he's talking to the guy about, how he's changing his cycle or whatever, his job. He did a job for so long, now he's doing another job. I don't know if people are invincible, but they have something where it seems like they live for a long time, like years and years. So it's like, it's years and years, centuries. Like it seems like a long time in this book. You don't die that easy. You go back to his home, and you can see he's smuggled the cow. And if we find out that he steals stuff, you could ride him with all the other stuff. We see he has a piano, bales, all kind of stuff, a kayak, like a thing like window, all the stuff that he's been stealing from these jobs he's been doing. As after every job, he steals something from each job he does. was kind of not, I don't know if I want to say cool, but it's kind of like unique thing. Like, okay, he's stealing stuff, but he's, to my knowledge, he's not the bad guy. So when I move on, I don't know if there is a bad guy yet. To say the least, everyone wants to say it doesn't really have a bad guy. So that's things done. But then we get back to the story element of the book, talking about this guy, talking about him in the forest, all stuff, and sees a goat and all this stuff, and he's talking about. And then we get back to the part of where that's like the narrator, I'm assuming, talking, or the main character in more modern times, or in like the now. And he's then remembering all these old stories about him stealing a first thing with a tape recorder, like a tape recorder, or like a thing to record stuff and probably play stuff, tapes. And then he goes and finds out more about his mom, the disease, whatever she has, and about the things they do. They go like on a trip, do stuff, and they always go. Him and his mom always walk down like the beach and go check out the empty houses and stuff. And they go to this one house that I always go to because another person who keeps the house. The guy who like watches the house when nobody else is there is at a certain time he's gone. So they go and they look at this one picture. They always look at this one picture they've done it for years, and their father does come in sometimes and does it with them. What you could say it's picking, but they're not doing anything really wrong in a sense. But you could say picking, whatever you want to call it. And it's talking about them and about an action figure. And it gets to the point like you're playing with an action figure, and the door in the back where you're buried and all this stuff. And they talked about him going to steal some more tapes or another tape recorder or something. Or this may be when he talked about first. Although it could be the first tape recorder, and talking about him stealing, how he almost got caught and everything. But then it goes to his mom, whatever, in the hospital, and he dies from this disease or whatever he has. And then we go back to the goat. You know, it just ends like kind of like, but the goat, like, and saying about the goat, wanting to escape him and all this stuff, and da da da. Now we get back to where we are into the, I guess the main focus. I think this is like the main kind of what's going on with him, fixing the cow's leg. So I guess he got broken or something, and he leaves to go for his new job. And he showed him, he goes in the car, goes to the security thing, gets this new thing for a job, and he goes on. He looks over and sees the whole town. You can tell there's definitely a more futuristic town in certain aspects, and it's just cool. And then we see him when he tries to adjust his meal. He sees something in the meal, like somebody looks like who's plugged into stuff, has a thing plugged into his head. So he's plugged into something. So maybe he's actually plugged in, and nobody's actually on Earth. Everybody's just plugged into this thing or something. I don't know. It's curious to see where this goes and see him going off. Up to his new job with these big doors, like metal doors, and he opens it. And he goes in there and meets the person who's in there, whose name is Matt. Why not? I think her name is Matt. Okay, her name is Matt, and then we have a thing where there's this big door, or what's it called, door, open, not door, but I don't know, whatever this thing is, I don't know what it's specifically called, but clouds, stuff, lightning, all this color, this pink, this color, all this weird stuff, and I'm studying it, trying to figure out what's going on. That's what they're talking about, them switching jobs, and like, no, I can keep the job, or you can come with me, because they kind of have some sort of connection, like, I'll remember you, because it seems like they forget after their jobs or whatever, or the cycles, they seem to forget and to kind of start over, and that's what's going on. So yeah, and they sit here, then he leaves, and he sits here listening to whatever this thing is, and yeah, that's where it ends, with him saying, listening to the next thing, like, hello, is anybody there? Seeing if anybody down there below on, I guess, what looks like Earth. So I'm assuming that part where he was in like the, what looks like a forest or a planet, probably Earth, and they got infected, and they had to go to this other thing, and it's kind of cool, and I'm like to see where this goes in the second issue. Now this is only 3 issues, so this will be a series I'm definitely only picking up, because 3 issues I can definitely complete this. This is a more pricey book, it's a $6 book, but it's almost the size, it's basically like the size of a magazine. It has like no ads in it except for the very end. There's about like 4 ads in it at the very end, just promoting some of the Scott Snyder and mostly Jeff Lemire's other work, so yeah. And mostly they're permitting all the image stuff that they did, so obviously it makes sense. The book was overall a book. If you like Jeff Lemire's artwork, I would say that might be something that's pretty good. If you like Jeff Lemire or Scott Snyder, I definitely would I would check this out if you're into either one of the artists or people. They create this book, they work really well together, and this book is amazing. I'm excited to review the other ones, and read the other ones, and review them on this thing like I do this one. But that's it for this video. Dick one, since the book was a big book and was a lot longer, I might be longer videos, so if it is, whatever, I really want to talk about this book because it's really one I just picked up off the rack. I saw the books I'm in, it looked really interesting. If I thought not just me, I opened up and started looking, I'm like, I'm getting this book because of the art. I'm like, this is the book I'm hands down paying the $6 for, because I really did enjoy it, and I hope the other books come out because it's really damn good. I know they're going to come out, but I can't wait to read them, so, as you can always, stay epic, and I'll see you in the next video.